Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil!
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil!
And you are lost!
Yeah, okay, bet. I'm Tabunal. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. This year, I'm gonna celebrate by defending this dumbass line.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil!
Okay, so, let's back things up. This is Anakin Skywalker. Just after he's fallen to the dark side and become Darth Vader. Spoilers for Star Wars, I guess. Things we need to know about Anakin prior to this movie speedrun. 1. He committed a small, just like a minor war crime.
Committed some light treason.
You know, a tiny genocide on the Sand People who kidnapped and murdered his mother. 2, he seems to feel a lot of guilt about that, a lot of anger, and he knows that anger is wrong. We see this a few times. He does demonstrate that he knows he shouldn't be feeling these feelings. They're a risk for a Jedi. He's aware of that. 3, he has a secret wife. The only person outside the Jedi Order he's shown any emotional attachment to other than his mentor, Palpatine. He tells us the Jedi are encouraged to love, but not to be in any sort of possessive relationship. 4. He was born a slave. He went immediately into apprenticeship in the Jedi Order from slavery, where he is required to forsake attachments and possessions. His only friends in the galaxy are secret wife, secret villain, older brother father figure, and the support system of the Jedi Order. His only life experiences are slave and Jedi. So we've got this character who we know is very angry, who's been told that his anger and his attachment are weaknesses and moral failings, right? He's broken down before, but he feels like he was in the wrong. He knows what's right and wrong from the perspective of the Jedi. And we see evidence, we see good evidence of this during the infamous "do it" scene. You know, Palpatine commands Anakin to kill Count Dooku. Anakin wants to, but he resists. He does it anyway, possibly under compulsion, and when he objects to it afterwards, it's not, oh, that was wrong exactly, it was, that's not the Jedi way.
Yes, but he was an unarmed prisoner. I shouldn't have done that, it's not the Jedi way.
Palpatine, who I refuse to call by his Disney-given first name, sort of smooths this over by reminding Anakin that, you know, he committed the light treason on the Sand People. But we can see that Anakin's not super, convinced by that. It's fine for now, but he's uncomfortable. They save the day, everyone's happy, turns out secret wife is pregnant, and just for the record, I think Padme is a great character with a lot of potential, and some great stories have been told about her, and this movie is not one of those stories. She's reduced to secret pregnant wife Anakin has nightmares about in this movie. That's all she does, and say that Liberty dies, I guess, with thunderous applause. Anakin's pretty scared of losing one of his only, 3 real emotional connections, the love of his life, so he takes this big gamble and he goes to his Jedi pastor for advice. Yoda just kind of warns him about being afraid of losing someone, says that death is a natural part of life. He blows him off. He's so much more worried about sticking to the letter of the Jedi Code that he sort of just dismisses the whole concern. Anakin seems really uncomfortable. He could probably use some support or guidance beyond, hey, learn how to get over it. Get good, buddy. Anakin goes straight from that conversation to Obi-Wan, who has some political hang-ups about, the war powers that are being given to Palpatine, and he says, you know,
be careful of your friend, Palpatine.
Be careful of what?
He has requested your presence.
What for?
He would not say.
You didn't inform the council? That's unusual, isn't it?
All of this is unusual. And it's making me feel uneasy.
Now look, obviously Obi-Wan is correct about Palpatine, right? We can even say that the Force is advising him here, that he senses that Palpatine's evil, but the fact of the matter is, nobody involved in this movie actually knows that Palpatine is a Sith yet. Obi-Wan's just uneasy, and he's taking cheap shots at Anakin's support system, but remember that for later. And remember this, because it's important, none of these characters have access to the information that we as an audience have about Palpatine. It is still a secret. Palpatine asks for Anakin's trust, and puts him on the Jedi Council. Anakin says no, they elect their own members, but he takes it to him anyway, and we get the meme, right?
This is outrageous. It's unfair.
Couple things here. Anakin actually does kind of humble himself, right? Like, he bites back on the anger. You can tell he's hurt and mad. He's insulted, and he'll tell Obi-Wan so, but he sits down. You know, he deals with it. 2, they have Obi-Wan ask him privately to betray Chancellor Palpatine. Obi-Wan knows that this is cruel. We are explicitly told that these are secret spy orders from the Jedi Council that aren't supposed to go on record. And here's where it gets interesting. Anakin says, "You're asking me to do something against the Jedi Code." Against the Jedi Code. Not wrong.
You're asking me to do something against the Jedi Code. Against the Republic. Against a mentor and a friend.
We will get back to that. Now, granted, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Windu have this whole conversation afterwards, but for purposes of this video, I really want to stick to Anakin's, point of view. Palpatine starts, trying to reel him in. We get to the Darth Plagueis scene. It's widely discussed. It's memed to death. It's mostly here to hint to Anakin that the power he needs can be found outside of the Jedi. I don't have a lot to say about that for this conversation. That'll be a different video at some point, maybe another time. Anakin's intrigued, but he also looks kind of suspicious. The next time we see Anakin, Mace Windu is sending him to tell Palpatine about Grievous, and there's 2 major points that occur here. 1,
the dark side of the Force surrounds the Chancellor.
If he does not give up his emergency powers after the destruction of Grievous, then he should be removed from office.
Anakin leaves the room before Mace Windu starts talking about all of his doubts, his contingency plans, feeling the dark side around Palpatine, rescuing the Republic, any of that. Anakin is gone. He does not hear that information. 2, Anakin finds out that Palpatine is Darth Sidious, and he does the right thing. He's tempted, but he does the right thing. He came here to fish for help, and once he realizes what's going on, he does the right thing. He's conflicted, he's hurt, he's betrayed, but Palpatine seems to be more or less opening up to him. He'd like to kill Palpatine, they both recognize that, but he knows it's wrong, so he turns him in to the Jedi Council just like he should.
I think Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
Now here's the thing. Palpatine spent all this time planting doubts in Anakin's head. Not about the Force, or the Sith really, or anything like that, but about the intentions of the Jedi Council. Anakin turns Palpatine in, and Windu tells him, "Stay put while we go verify it. I sense confusion in you." Anakin doesn't know that Windu's having doubts about Palpatine or sensing the dark side. He was sent away before that conversation ever happened. Anakin's suspicious of the Council, and the things Palpatine have said to him have kind of borne out so far. He's afraid he's going to lose Padme. He pursues the Jedi. So, now, there's another problem here. Remember what I said earlier about how nobody involved knows what we know as viewers, right? That's still true. Nobody in this movie at this point knows that Palpatine was behind the Separatists yet, that he manufactured this war. Nobody knows the extent of his war crimes. The Jedi aren't arresting him for war profiteering or for manufacturing conflict, war crimes, genocide, any of that. They're arresting him for being a Sith Lord. And more importantly, this scene...
Under arrest, Chancellor.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
Anakin's not here for any of that. He doesn't see it. Anakin doesn't show up until here.
You are under arrest.
Anakin has no idea what's happened up to this point. He never even sees Palpatine's lightsaber. So now you've got these two, they're accusing each other of being traitors, and Anakin still comes down on the right side. He wants Palpatine to go to trial. He wants to be a good Jedi about it. He wants to save his wife, but he wants to follow the code. Jedi don't kill unarmed prisoners. It's not the Jedi way. So he prevents the execution. And it backfires horribly. And Anakin's mind just... it breaks. He watches the Sith Lord kill the head of the Jedi Council because Anakin just cut off his hand while trying to follow the Jedi Code and save his wife. All these Jedi that we've seen Anakin interact with so far have in some way, implicit or explicit, broken the code. Anakin has as well. But he is possibly for the first time in his life recognizing the hypocrisy of their behavior, and he breaks. Admittedly, it's a wild leap to go from here to killing younglings. The way I see it, Anakin just kind of shatters. Everything he's ever known is in question. His mentor, secret supervillain. Jedi, corrupt, actually. And raising babies in a cult, and nothing makes sense anymore. Secret Sith, evil Jedi, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. So when Anakin says, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil, that point of view is the Jedi Code. And he is lost.